This is Chicago. Doors open on the left at Chicago.
Welcome to Chicago. Welcome to Chicago. Welcome to Chicago.
This is Chicago. Doors open on the left at Chicago.
Welcome to Chicago. Coming from the 606 Media Studios. This is the TCSF podcast with Big Z. Episode 201 is brought to you by 606 Media. True Chicago sports fans. Don't forget to go to gritclothingco.com and get your official TCSF podcast t-shirt. Search for keyword True Chicago and use our promo code TrueFan15 for 15% off your entire order. That is TrueFan15. Go and get your shirts now. And if you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, or the X, hit that subscribe button, hit that star button, hit that favorite button. And if you're on the podcast app, listening to us on Tuesday morning, remember to give us a 5-star review and put some nice words in for us. It'll help us on the charts and shoot us right up. Remember, you can also support the show with the monthly subscription at anchor.fm/True Chicago Sports Fans. Go over there and hit that support button and subscribe for as little as 99 cents. Episode 201. In this live episode, we got we dropped somebody off. We've got a litany of guests, former co-host, and just taking a hiatus. He'll be back soon. And always, we got Stevie-B, and looks like MIC Logik will be with us in a moment. We got the Chicago Bulls with more wrap-up on the trade and the signing of a couple of players. We got Chicago baseball. The Cubs losing the sausage series in Milwaukee. Is it time to sell? Chicago, the Sox win a series at home while fielding calls on a fire sale, and what will stir in a pot be. But before we get into all that, let's introduce our guest this week. We got Stevie-B from No Water on the Weekend podcast, and we got one of the original OGs, E-Roc, in the house. What up, gentlemen?
What's up? What's up? How's it going?
It's going great. What up, E-Roc?
What's going on, brother? Hey, first and foremost, I want to say this. 200 episodes is a big thing. I wasn't able to be probably the last 40 or so, but a lot of softball. I gotta say, a lot of softball, a lot of tournaments. I'm talking about like 7 games a weekend type stuff. So that's the reason you haven't seen me on here. That's the reason, like, you haven't been able to hear the dulcet tones of one E-Roc over here, knowing you on your drive in the morning, or your drive on the way home, or your morning jog, or whatever it is. But happy to be here for this episode. I wore this very tight Derrick Rose jersey and a hat for y'all. I'm not going to tell you that right now, but yeah, I'm excited to be on here, talk about what's going on with these Bulls.
That's right. Let's bring in MIC Logik. All right, I'm gonna adjust this while MIC Logik. Welcome, MIC Logik, to the show. And while I'm making an adjustment, Mike, how you been, brother?
What's going on, guys? How's everything going?
We are doing phenomenal. Great to have MIC Logik in the house. Let's make this
episode. And for you guys, man.
There we go. Let's update that little layout there just to make
there
it
you go.
Interesting. That's right. All right, boys. It is, we're just gonna jump right into it. I'm glad everybody's doing fine. I'm so happy to get everybody on the pod right now. But we're gonna talk with the Chicago Bulls and the mess that is the Chicago Bulls. The Bulls drafted Matías Buzelis. Is that how you say his name, MIC Logik?
Matías Buzelis.
Sure. We'll go with that.
Yeah, that's close enough.
That's close enough. I'll wait till Stacy and Adam Amin say it correctly for me to follow along. But Buzelis is 6'10", 195 forward, super skinny. He's been in the G League, and he's going to be part of the youth movement. So MIC Logik, who is a basketball aficionado, is going to break this down for us.
So Matías Buzelis, like you said, 6'10". I think he's very athletic. People make a big deal about his defense. Like, is he going to be a good defender? I think right now he's going to be a very good off-ball defender. Like, he'll be able to block shots and rim protect a little bit. He's got to keep working on his lateral quickness to be – I don't know if he'll ever be a shutdown defender, but I think he could be a useful defender where you're not worried about him being abused on the defensive end at all times. He's got to work on his shot now. His senior year of high school, he shot around 40% from the three. He shot terrible in the G League from the three. Had he shot better in the G League, if he had a better percentage, he probably wouldn't have got drafted 11th. I think that's a reason he slipped in the draft. I also think, just by the way the draft went, team needs is the reason he slipped. Some teams needed a big man because Buzelis was expected to go top 5 on a lot of draft boards.
Yep.
But I'm very excited about this pick. I see a lot of potential. There's a lot of room for growth too. So he's not anywhere near a finished product. And when you watch his highlight tapes, there's a lot of stuff that jumps off the screen that you can get behind and be excited about Chicago. So give this kid a chance. Once again, not a finished product. Lots of room for growth. The Bulls coaching staff's going to have to do their job and coach the kid up. But I think he's going to fit in just fine with this youth movement that the Bulls seem to have going on. And I hope the Bulls stay the course as far as keep on bringing in young guys and getting rid of that elder statesmen's.
E-Roc.
Hey, he's also a kid from Chicago, born in Chicago, raised up in Hinsdale. He's Lithuanian, and guess who else is Lithuanian? Guess who it is? Art Carney over there. Arturas Karšovas is Lithuanian. So I mean, we got all of the nepotism or whatever you want to call when it's your countrymen and your local high school kid coming over to the Bulls. The Bulls love that type of thing. They got IO, they got Derrick Rose, you know what I mean? Like, so I think as far as like just having that local kid on the team, that's something that you can get behind. I've never heard of 99% of these guys that are in this draft. I don't think most of us did, especially all these international players that like the French players. It kind of tells you that, with Tony Parker and all that stuff, the way he built up basketball in France after the Spurs won their championships in the late 90s and early 2000s, you see that big push from the international. But the problem is that we don't, unless you're watching on YouTube or somehow have like an international basketball package on your TV, you don't know who these guys are. So it's a very interesting move to see, even up to that 11th pick, who these guys are. Now, if you're watching the G League, that's a one thing, but most of these players, we have no idea who they are. I have no idea. When you talk about he's supposed to be a top 5 guy, okay. You know what I mean? Like there was so much more hype around the WNBA and the women's tournament this year that I think a lot of people didn't pay that much attention to who was coming up in this draft.
Mike, you want to rebuttal that?
Yeah, this is the pick that I wanted the Bulls to make. I know you guys followed me on Facebook, and I made a post because I watched an IG video of one of his recent workouts where he looked like he put a little bit of muscle on. He's obviously very skinny, and that's his physique is something he has to work on. But like I said, he was a very highly talked about prospect going into this draft. And I didn't even cover the fact that he can get a shot off the dribble. He can create for himself a little bit. He can really attack the rim. And once you get him in the fast break, Giddy, Io, like this is, and we're gonna talk about DeMar and how things with DeMar slows down the offense. But this is the kind of young offense that I would like to see from the Bulls, and I think he fits in perfectly.
You got something, Stevie-B?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know much about this guy. I'm pretty much listening to you guys talk at this point, but I mean, I'm always excited for a new guy to come on in and see what he's got. I'm more interested in talking about whenever we get a chance, Patrick Williams, 5 years, $90 million. I think
we'll get to that.
There. But yeah,
we'll get to that.
I'm excited. I do like that we're picking someone from Chicago who likes the team, born and raised. So I think that's exciting.
It is. So he's got good ball handling ability for a 6'10" player. He's comfortable facing the basket, operating on the perimeter, especially in transition. So I've seen a couple of his G League stuff, and he's not afraid to put his back against the basketball as well. He's got a good fadeaway. He can shoot from 10 to 12 feet. He can dribble the ball for the most part for a big boy. He's a decent passer. The problem was his shooting from the perimeter, because that's the new NBA. The new NBA's run and gun, shoot from the perimeter. It's a fast-paced game, and what we're trying to get away from is the DeMar, bogging down the offense with the, let me take 8 dribbles and fade away and under. And while it's effective, and he's got a great mid-range game, That is no longer the NBA that is now. And so is Zach. Zach's another one that dribbles for 23 seconds and then hurls up a Hail Mary. So that's the problem with the Bulls. And I think that with the youth movement that they're doing now, they're trying to make it more kind of like OKC, where we're running and gunning and we're going to outrun the guys on the opposition to get a win. So I think it's going to be exciting. I think there's a lot of potential, but I don't know, will he start with the Bulls when the season breaks?
I don't think he's going to start right away, and that's fine. That was the question that you're posing, right? Is he ready to start? I don't think there's a need to start him right now. I would start right now. Let's say no DeMar. We'll say Vooch is still on the team. Just hypothetically, I'd go Kobe, Io, Giddey, obviously, Patrick Williams, and Vooch. You can bring this kid along. He's going to get plenty of minutes.
Where are you playing Zach then? Because Zach is not getting traded. So what are you doing with Zach? Is he sitting next to Billy?
You're right. Zach's probably not going anywhere. In a perfect world, Zach's already gone. But as you stated, he's probably not going anywhere. So then Io's the man coming off the bench. But once again, like, you don't have to rush Modest. You can give him plenty. He can get plenty of minutes, 25, 26 minutes per game. He doesn't have to. He doesn't have to come in and make an immediate impact right away. So the pressure's off him. He just has to work hard, keep getting better. You were talking about his ball handling. It's good. It can be a lot better, and
Correct.
It's going to get tighter. I think he'll end up working with Kobe White. You saw how Kobe's handles have improved because he works with the trainer, Dribble Too Much or something like that. His trainer, shout out to his trainer, whoever it is really good. So once again, he doesn't have to come in and play 35 minutes per game. You can bring him along slowly. As long as he's getting the minutes to develop, I'll be satisfied with that. And I think the coaching staff will as well.
So we might be seeing him and Jalen Terry go up and down from the G League to fill out the Bulls roster.
Do we have time to talk about Jalen Terry? How long is this podcast? No. Yeah, I mean, I honestly don't think he's one of those players that's going to get time in the G League. I don't. He's first round. He's a lottery pick. Jalen Terry was not a lottery pick.
Right.
He's going to be a rotational everyday player. Jalen Terry was not. So I think big difference there.
All right. Let's pivot over to the Bulls signing a player, Jalen Smith. He agreed with a 3-year, $27 million deal with the Bulls, according to Woj. Smith played with the Pacers last 2 seasons. Was part of the playoffs. He also played for the Phoenix Suns. He's averaged 9 points, 5 rebounds in 17 minutes, shooting about 60% from the field and 42% from 3-point range. And this is somebody that we talked off air a couple of days ago. Mike's literally gave me a list of players, and this was one of them. And I was like, who the hell is Jalen Smith? Because I'm pretty sure E-Roc was the same thing. Like, who the hell is Jalen Smith?
He had a good game against the Bulls last season.
That's very fair.
No, that's true. Jalen Smith, 6'10". I think he's 24 years old, drafted by Phoenix, traded to Indiana. When he got minutes, he played very well. You said he averaged around almost 10 points per game coming off the bench.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What jumps off the screen when you're watching his highlight videos is his rim protection, right?
Yeah.
I had no idea, even watching him the couple times that I have, that he was such a good 3-point shooter, like efficient 3-point shooter. He shot 61 for 144 last season, so way better than I anticipated. And he once again, another player fast break and finish on the fast break. I don't know too much about his back to the basket game. I think that's probably something he wants to improve on. But
yeah, he's there to replace the Andre Drummond void.
Yeah, the rim protection, the rebounding,
right,
being a forcer inside.
Yeah,
Jalen Smith. So, and the money they got him at, I'm very happy with that contract. And I think this is another one. And I know AK and Mark Eversley don't deserve the doubt to try to rebuild this program after they couldn't pivot from the Lonzo injury for years. But I really like the moves they've made this offseason. And this is just another one to add to their collection of moves in a positive direction.
Yeah, it's definitely a different move from what we've been so accustomed to with, getting players that slow down the basketball and then lack of 3-point shooting, which wasn't addressed last year. But, speaking of 3-point shooting and lack thereof, Patrick Williams, Mr. I can't stay on the court, Mr. Eloy Jimenez on a Bulls jersey, literally cannot stay on the field. 5 years, $90 million. If you can't do the math, that's about $18 million a year. So I don't understand how this man is making more than Kobe.
I don't have an answer for you other than still him only being 22. He'll be 23 this season. The potential seeing him. Also, that was the first pick that this regime has made. First round pick that they had, and it could have had Tyrese Halliburton. We're not going to go back down. We're not going to go back down memory lane as far as that draft goes. But you've seen the good things that Patrick Williams can do when he's consistent and when he's able to stay on the court. And that makes you excited as a Bulls fan if you can find a way to harness that energy and get it out of him every game. But the rebounding, like to be 6'10" and average right around 5 rebounds per game, it's got to improve. 90 million for him for 5 years. They're still. I think they envision him getting better and better, and it's still an investment for them. They're not ready, and me personally, I'm not ready to let him walk out the door either.
He's too young to let go. Yeah, it's kind of like what we did with Larry and Chandler, where they let them go too early before developing them. So it's really a catch-22 because they're going to fall on their sword. If this guy doesn't pan out, it might be their job.
Here's the other thing about the money, Z, is the way that contracts are going and the CBA is going. In a couple seasons, that might be the veteran minimum. I think the veteran minimum right now, like the max veteran minimum, is around $13 million. So $18 million in the grand scheme of things is really not that much.
Yeah, the NBA, the collective bargaining agreement raised the amount of money a team can spend by a lot. So this is due to TV contracts. That's where the money comes from. So if the ceiling is raised up, then you're able to spend more. And some of these players who don't really deserve it are getting 15 and 20 and $30 million a year.
I just got 3 years, $87 million from OKC.
Who did?
Isaiah Hartenstein,
from New York, yeah.
So I mean, the money is ridiculous. Hopefully, Patrick earns it by staying on the court and really contributing. Like the numbers, and I think we talked about this off the air. The numbers I'm thinking for Pat that would be sufficient in my eyes is around 14, 16 points per game, 7 to 8 rebounds per game. Because the other thing about Pat, he guards the best wing most nights.
Mm-hmm.
Like small forward, power forward. Pat's guarding that person. So
my issue with him is he gets lost in the offense at points. If we start off with going through Vooch, and then if Vooch is not really, doing his thing, then it's like, all right, Zach, here you go, here's the ball. And Kobe's like, playing third fiddle until like Zach doesn't get the ball and he's pouting in the corner when Kobe's doing his thing. And I feel like he gets lost in that mix until like you get the second and third unit in when they're just playing free. And that's when you see him do well, when it's a free-flowing offense rather than that structured half-court offense.
Well, E-Roc, when they're making that type of commitment to Pat, they're basically telling him, hey, we need you to be the man. So your shot production has to go up a incredible amount. And you can't lay back in the weeds. You have to be engaged offensively for 48 minutes, however long you're out there for.
But see, that's the problem, is that I've been saying the same thing about Pat Williams for 4 years now. When they drafted him number 4 overall in 2020, the next 10 to 15 years of the Chicago Bulls depends on what happens on the high pick that they have here, because for 3-4 years in a row, they had number 7 pick, right? When you get to the number 7 pick, it's almost a crapshoot. I mean, you can, we've seen later picks in the first round come out and shine. Jimmy Butler, for example, what's his name? the Greek Freak. There's a lot of players but it's random, right? Because the NBA, I feel like the first 5 picks are the ones that really make a difference, and it's about who you develop, right? And you got a guy like Halliburton and stuff like that, but it's really about who you develop. You're talking about 4 years in a system under this regime, and you have not seen the one thing he can do decently is shoot threes, but he's so damn big, it's like he's scared of the rim. It's the weirdest thing to see a big dude like that. It's almost like it reminds me a little bit of Tyrese Thomas, right? Tyrese Thomas seemed like he could not understand how to control his own athleticism. He could jump out the gym, but he didn't understand. He had no finesse to his game, right? He had like hands of bricks, and he flamed out because he really just didn't do anything. Pat Will, I understand why they gave him the money. He's only 22 years old. He is a young man, and they've already had him for what, 3-4 years already at this point. So I mean, I think the fear, like Z said, is that you're gonna let him go. He's gonna develop like our boy Larry Markkinen, right? Or how you've seen a lot of other players. I mean, look at old boy that's in
Derek Jones Jr. playing for the Mavs.
I don't care about Derek Jones. I know Mike Logik loves him so much.
McDermott.
No, Doug either. I'm talking about Dougie was in on the Pacers. I'm talking about old boy that's in Milwaukee right now. The big
Bobby Portis.
Thank you. Oh, scary. Yeah, hell yeah.
That's all you had to do was make the frog eye.
Right. I know, but I was trying to catch the name. I'm trying to be a little professional. But yeah, I mean, that's the thing, is that they would let go of these guys too early. You see them develop. And I think Bobby Portis leaving the Bulls put more of that dog in him. I wish he left some here for Pat Will, because Pat Will does not have that in him at all. That's what we've been talking about, is that the fact that you want him to be aggressive. You want him to have that dog. And I mean, like, it's just, I'm really hopeful that might be the case. I'm hoping some Alex Caruso rubbed off on him. I'm hoping some DeMar DeRozan rubbed off on him. I'm hoping some Andre Drummond rubbed off on him, because you need this young man to develop if you have any chance or any thought. Now, here's the thing. You look at where they are when they're talking about the youth movement, right? Who are they going to have to compete against in 5 years, right? NBA players seem to last, longer these days, especially when you talk about LeBron playing with his son. But when you look at the youth movement 5 years from now, where are those Celtics going to be? Towards the end of that, that run, and where you're going to be on the rise? Is that the goal that you're looking at right here? Because you ain't doing nothing this year. You're not. Yeah, so agree. That has to be the idea right now.
I agree. That's what they're looking for the next 4 years. What can we do to compete at that point? We're going to develop for the next 4 years, because Boston is going to be a powerhouse, right? You still got Philadelphia, New York's got a good team. You got some Indiana's a good team. You got a bunch of players in your conference that are pretty good. So you're like, okay, you and Detroit are pretty much neck and neck, saying we're going with the youth movement and we're going to develop our players, and then maybe add a couple free agents to round us off and push us over the edge. Welcome to the show, Lex. Great to hear from you. I haven't heard from you in a while. Real quick. That's how I was pointing down.
with Pat, I think a lot of it has to do with confidence, and I'm pretty sure we've talked about it before. But he was in a weird situation when he got drafted to the Bulls. How many top 5 picks start their career playing with 3 all-star level players? A lot of those guys go to garbage teams. They get a lot of minutes, and they learn how to sort of become the man. So we don't know if he has that level to him. Like, I don't want to say he doesn't have that dog in him. Right now, it doesn't seem like he does.
No.
I think he lacks a little bit of a motor at times, especially with the rebounding. Like, that pisses me off more than anything.
I agree.
No reason you have a guard having more rebounds than this dude.
I just feel like when I see him play, he doesn't get the rebounds, and the person who's getting the rebound is always in front of him, and he's a big guy. He doesn't box out. He doesn't put his body on him. And this is where he misses the rebounds.
He's athletic too. He's an athletic freak.
Right. And I do not want to see him shoot threes. I don't.
But he's a 40% shooter.
And that's the part where it's like,
big men got to be able to shoot these days. That's just a fact. Big men have to be able to shoot these days.
I want to see him use his pull-up a lot more. I think he has a very good pull-up.
Yeah, I'll take him shooting 2s on the inside, but it's like when Vooch shoots 3s. It's like when he makes them, but then he doesn't, and he keeps shooting them.
Because Pat Will can make that.
strengths of his game when he came here from Orlando. Now he's most certainly one of the most skilled big men when it comes to having their back to the basket. His footwork's very, very good, and that's where his strength really, really is. But I understand why Vooch shoots threes because he knows he can do it. He's had a couple down seasons, and it has not looked good for Vooch.
For a team that does not shoot the three well, having Pat Williams be able to shoot the three needs to happen, because when you need to have someone other than Zach, than Kobe White to be that offensive threat. If you can have Pat healthy, being able to shoot from the outside, all of a sudden, next thing you know, you got Kobe White sneaking around. That's an easy layup under the basket, and vice versa.
And I agree with you, and I would love to see that more often. But I feel like anytime I see them shoot the three, everyone is on the perimeter. No one's on the inside to get the rebound.
Yeah.
And that's the part where it's like that you got to have people in there, Vooch or Patrick, someone in there to at least get the rebound, because I just see the plays passing around the three and then someone shoots and no one's in the center and they lose it.
And I would also like to see Pat play a lot more small forward than power forward. I think he'd be a more effective small forward than he would be a power forward.
He does
I
play
think
small.
By his lack of rebounding. It's just he doesn't have a nose for the basketball.
Yeah.
Well, they got Jalen Smith now too. You know what I mean? So I mean, and he's really improved. You look at his stats from 22 to 23. His field goal percentage went up 12 points. His 3-point percentage went up 14 points. He was 42% from three last year. So I mean, and his field goals went up to 60% basically. So he was only scoring 10 points a game, but that's like bonus points right there. If you can get a guy like this who can be a dog around the rim, and that's where your boys are going to come from, then it's okay. I mean, that's what it is. You need him to play those minutes again. Andre Drummond, right, who's back at Philly. Everyone's like, oh, they should have kept him too. Like, he's been gone. But I mean, that's
Caruso was like, I'm out.
Yeah, but that's like that piecemeal of the guys that are like 28, 30, 31 years old, right? That's what you're doing when you have AC, right? I love AC, but don't get me wrong. Let him go to a contender where he can win something. He can actually, he could be on a team on the rise versus a team that's trying to be on the rise. Because that, regardless of what you want to say about the youth movement that the Bulls are part of, they are trying to be on the rise. They're not there yet. We have to see what's going to happen. Even if you show, you're going to lose a lot of games this next season. I feel that. But if you can actually, at the very least, show that you're on the rise, show that you have that potential to be on the rise, it could be very interesting with the youth movement that they got going on right now.
They have to find a middle ground between tanking and being competitive.
What do you mean? They do that every year. They're 500 every year. That's what they do. They stay in the middle.
That's the Bears.
They have to be top 10 bad, Z.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You can't be top 10 bad, just like JC said, with Zach and Vooch. You've got to get rid of those two players so that way you can be top 10 bad and keep your pick, and you don't lose that the Rosen pick.
Talking about Zach.
Well, we're gonna get there. All right, let's see what Lex says. Lex said Giddey's shot was wet in the corner. Okay. I mean, you watch more stuff than I do, Lex, so I'm gonna agree with you there. Oh my God, he was 40 from the 3-point percent.
The development department has their hands full, but a lot of potential to work with. Giddey, he can shoot it. Like, his form's not terrible. It's just it's not consistent enough. He's another one of those players. Io's 3-point shooting improved
a lot.
Yep.
Giddey's 21. I don't see why his wouldn't improve. It seems like it's improved every season.
Yeah. All right, so I wanted to get MIC Logik on the show just because I wanted to know what his reaction was to the Caruso trade, and then explain who we're getting in Josh Giddey.
I had no problem with it. I didn't see it coming. I would have been happier if they traded Caruso during the season.
Well, everybody was.
Because I thought it was crazy that, and you've seen my Facebook post. I'm like, oh, we're and this is why the trade was just happening. I'm like, oh, we're getting back picks. We're getting back. No, it's a straight up trade. AC for Josh Giddey. I like Giddey as a player a lot. I think there's a whole lot of things that he does well that's going to translate to what this team will do for success in the future.
Mm-hmm.
He's a brilliant playmaker. He's a good ball handler. He attacks the rim pretty well too. that's where his bread and butter is: playmaking, attacking the rim. His court vision is up there with Lonzo Ball's, as far as in my opinion. He does really well on the fast break or in that half court offense. The 3-point shooting's got to improve, though. Every guard in this league needs to be able to shoot the ball at an efficient rate, in a high efficient rate.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why him, Pat Will, Kobe, Io, they all need to be in the gym shooting with one another. As soon as the Olympics is over, because obviously Giddey's playing for Australia, but he adds more length and size to the lineup. Big guard, 6'8", and once again, just a lot of room for growth. So this is a youth movement that the Bulls have finally decided to go with, and now they just need to stick with it and don't deviate from the plan, because I like the plan. Just use the OKC Thunder blueprint. You don't have the picks that they have, but you have the youth on your side. So keep going with that, is my opinion.
See, I seen that comment that JC just put in there is holding Kobe White. Is he worth it, right? Well, here's the thing. He's 24. Io's 24. Josh Giddey's 24. The other kid they just brought in from the Pacers is 24. Pat Will's 22. Everybody's a baby. I mean, they're all the same age. If they're going to mature, they're going to mature together. And typically, I mean, like, unless you're a freak, unless you're an absolute freak in basketball, in the NBA, as a developmental player, right, which most of these guys are, they still need to develop. Here's what I tell my daughter about her softball team, right? Your talent and your athleticism is what brought you here, but your hard work is what's going to keep you here, right? And that's what it really comes down to. If these guys work hard, and you talk about Io's shot, Pat Will's shot, getting better, you know, through the development of the team, everybody needs to be in that gym all day, shoot 1,000 threes a day, whatever you can, because that's what the league comes down to. I was chilling with Mike in that slick ass little room, and he's sitting right there with the bar behind him. Everyone can't see it, but I know where it's there. So I was chilling with him watching them NBA finals, right? Where I remember we were talking about Kyrie. What did I say about Kyrie? He should be on a Magic for his disappearing act. That bullshit ass play. He just completely disappeared. And my point of all of this is that as you develop, as you grow, you have to put in the work. And is Patrick Williams willing to put in that work? The problem is that every time you see, I'm excited from this year. I'm excited. He's going to do this. He's going to do that. Injured. I got a broken finger. My ankle hurts. One of my braids fell out. Like, I don't know what it is, but he seems to be hurt all the time. And I think the biggest detriment that we can all agree about with this regime is that they took three years to trade a human for another human.
Yeah.
Why did it take you so long? You sat there and watched Lonzo with his one hop along leg on that treadmill. Oh, I'm coming back. You ain't coming. You ain't doing shit, right? They never ever replaced him, right? When Derrick Rose went down, you saw the carousel of point guards come in and take over, and you had them for a 1-year deal. Nate Robinson, all these other guys, right? The dude that was messing around with Mayweather's wife, all that mess. But they found a way to actually fill in that spot. The Bulls never, ever did that when Lonzo Ball went down. And I remember telling Mike at the time when they brought in Lonzo, I was like, I don't know if I like this. Mike was all about it. He was impressive in the 4 games that he played for the Bulls, and then that was it. It's a waste of money. And that's the biggest thing I have against this regime, is that they never found a way to even a Band-Aid over a bullet wound. They never even found a way. It was just, he'll be back. He ain't back. He ain't back.
A little bit more respect, though, because they were in first place.
For what? For being broken? He's broken.
That's not his fault. Injuries are a part of the game. Whose fault?
Not for 8 years.
His fault that
he's just stealing money.
They just kind of were just waiting to see if he would come back after a couple seasons. He's not coming back, guys.
Okay, but how do you not find a way to fix that? How do you not have a way to fix that in all these years? It's garbage.
Israel has that blind love for the Bulls, like Red Fred. He's really like, the Bulls are going to be great and surprise us. You're the one that's going to be surprised because what's going to happen is at some point they'll be able to trade Vooch this season while he's still here. He's going to start with the Bulls, but he won't end up with the Bulls this season. Tell you that.
I don't know if the Bulls, honestly. They find a trade partner for him.
I hope they do because apparently the Bulls tried to trade Zach to Golden State for Chris Paul and some other assets, and Chris Paul and the Golden State said no, thank you, and then released Chris Paul. Like literally the big FU.
They'd rather release him than trade him for Zach.
A first round pick.
Yeah, that's a little embarrassing.
And I do not want to give up a first round pick in a Zach LaVine trade. Like, I don't want to lose another pick, especially with the drafts coming up. I would highly not suggest that.
So what's the plan then this season? Since there is no trade partner, there is no trade value for Zach. How does Billy Donovan get Zach to play into Billy Donovan's offense and not play that solo ball that he wants to play all day?
What's funny is we all want Zach gone, and we've been wanting him gone. He kind of ruined that trade last year to Detroit because he decided he was going to have season-ending surgery.
He pulled the Pippen
in with this offense really well because they will play fast pace, and that won't allow him to do as much of the solo ISO ball. It will allow him to be a catch and shoot assassin. It will allow him to get out on the fast break because he's still fast. It was DeMar that slows this team down because of the style of play DeMar likes to play. Zach fits in with this group that they have right now. Unfortunately, everybody in this group chat, this podcast right now, wants to see him gone, and I think most Chicago Bulls fans do as well. Like, we've had enough. The experiment did not work.
I just feel that we had enough because he's hurt. He's a detriment to the team when he's not involved. When DeMar's getting the last shot and he's not, he's sitting in the corner pouting. I mean, that's not the type of team player that we want, And even when he's been given the ball and said, "Hey," DeMar said, "Hey, I did it last year. This is your team now." He didn't rise to the occasion. He was not the leader. You wanted to be the leader. You got your commercials. You got your shoe. You got out the notoriety, and you were not the leader. DeMar said, "Here you go. I'm the older statement. Here you go. I'm passing the ball to you." And he didn't take the ball and run with it. And that's what the Bulls fans see. That's why we got attached to Caruso, because that kid's playing 150 miles an hour and is made out of glass. Like, that's the type of players that Chicago loves. We understand the kid's going to get hurt, but his defense, he's a great role model. He's a good coach when on the bench when he's hurt. You want good players that complement each other, and Zach really doesn't complement because he's got that ego of me first. I understand what you're saying is that when they're playing run and gun, he can slash to the basket and he can dunk, or he can, be a shooter. Yes, that does happen. That's great for him.
Yeah.
But if he's not getting the ball past him and it's going to be passed to Kobe or Ayo or Pat Will, and he's not getting his 22, 25 points a game, is he going to be a detriment to the team?
Zach LaVine would be the best basketball player in the big three of all time because he only has two other players on the court with him. You understand what I'm saying? That's the problem, is that he's not a team player. He's an and one player to me, right? And what I mean by that, I'm talking about and one basketball back in the day, mixtapes, all that shit, because he has all the athleticism in the world, but his basketball IQ is trash. He could jump out the gym, jump out the UC, dunk on the moon, but he doesn't know what to do with the ball if he's not shooting it or if he's not dunking or layup. You know what I mean? Like, he knows how to score sometimes, but that's it. And that's all he wants to do. He has no interest in being anyone's teammate.
Yeah, one night he's shooting 60, the next he's shooting 15. Like, that's exactly it. And that's the point that you're making. Like, which Zach you're going to get? The Zach that shoots 15 and pouts, or the 60 he's going to score in one night? I mean, I like to think that he's going to do well and mesh well and bond with the team. I hope he does, but I don't know yet.
When has he ever done that, though? He has never done that in his career.
Right, because he's always been the star here.
Number one. So you got a 1 and a 1A with him and DeMar, and he just shrunk. He shrunk, and the only time you ever saw you're not wrong. It was either 15 or 50 every night. right? That was it. If he wasn't the main focus, if they played any defense on him, he was like, I'm out. I'm good.
Can we address Lex's comment about Zach respecting Lonzo, but he doubts he respects Giddey as a point guard?
There it is.
Why, Lex? Why would he? You've seen the playmaking ability. We've talked about the playmaking ability. We've seen what he's done to Chicago. He had some great games against the Bulls. I know everybody does, but
Right.
the playmaking is there. Like, if I'm Zach, I'd be super pumped to play with another pass first type point guard like Josh Giddey is.
Because he loved Lonzo. That's what he said.
It's the light skin all stars.
Yeah.
Does he gotta-
That's it, right? I mean, tell me.
Oh my God.
Tell me something different, right? It's a Redbone All Stars right there. That's what it is.
I'm part of the club. Shh.
Yeah.
I'm not the founding member, but I'm part of the club.
I mean, look, hey man, hey, look, the mixed race All Stars. What's up?
Yeah, that's facts.
Let's see Steph Curry in here.
Oh my God.
Hey, sorry, real quick. We got MIC Logik, right? The NBA savant. I need to know what you think about Clay leaving the Warriors.
Oh my God.
With the way that negotiations have gone, with the way his playing time has gone down significantly coming off the bench, who could have not seen this coming? Like, everyone's like, oh, he should have just went back to the Warriors. Like, no, he was disrespected. And it's not so much that he was disrespected. It's just as you age, especially in basketball, you're only going to be good for so long and so valuable to an organization. Not everybody finishes their career with the same organization they started with.
No.
And I think Clay has gone to a spot in Dallas with Luka and Kyrie, guys who can get him good shots because they command so much of the attention from the defense. Clay's going to be open. Clay's going to get his baskets. He's going to be able to start because they lost Derrick Jones Jr. to the Clippers in free agency. I know he had to take less. He took 3 years, $50 million. He probably wanted more, but
He did get offered more from the Lakers, and he turned it down.
Mm-hmm.
I think Dallas has a better chance of winning a title or at least getting back to the championship than the Lakers do. Now, the Lakers might make some more moves, but I already bet somebody today that Dallas would finish with a better record than the Lakers. So I'm going to pat on that.
You made me do the Shaq eyes right there. Oh man, I never thought I would hear any type of Lakers slander like that in my life. Oh man, especially you got two LeBron Jameses on the same team. Oh my goodness, how the hell am I hearing this Lakers slander from one Mike Logik? Oh my goodness, July 1st, 2004, ladies and gentlemen, it happened today.
I'm just being real. I get it. Like, you have.
Here's my question though. What is Clay gonna do when Kyrie is just somewhere in the locker room because he disappears and Luka is still sitting on the ground crying about a foul that happened 3 plays ago? What's he gonna do then?
He's gonna
you and I both saw that.
Turn back the clock, and he's gonna go off for like 37 and a half or in a quarter.
He can do that, but he's not going to do that. I know, like, you saw his stats for the last couple of years. He's going to do like, yeah, I shot 70 points and all from 3, or the next game I had 4 points.
Probably going to average somewhere between 17 and 19 points, maybe like right under 20 points per game. But he
doesn't need to do that.
I think he have a much improved season. I think he had a rough season this last season that he played in, which is why he came off the bench. And they wanted him to come off the bench in Golden State to back up Podemski. Do you guys know who that is?
No, do you?
I saw him play.
You the only one.
Okay, but I think he's in a good spot. I think Kyrie and Luka are going to try to find him at home. I see a lot of upsides for the Mavericks. And they also signed Najee Marshall, who I like, from the Pelicans. So I think the Mavericks made some pretty good moves to try to get back to the finals. I don't think they do, but I like what they did in the offseason so far.
Before your internet cuts out, I still got two more things for you before we can let you get out of this, right?
There you go.
Number one, we got to talk about the finals. I know that you hate the Celtics. You did not want them to win. I think that they paid their dues. I told you what in game 3, I'm like, Dallas is cooked. I text you. And you didn't respond until an hour. That was at halftime. You didn't respond until an hour after the game was completed. Okay, so I need your expert thoughts on this NBA Finals from a couple weeks ago.
It's not that I hate Boston. I actually like a lot of the players, and I actually predicted, if you listen to the All Net podcast, that Boston would win a title in the coming years. I think it was like 2 years ago I predicted this. My problem is Jason Tatum doing his disappearing act and coming up small when they need him in big moments.
Light skin all-star.
What is that?
Light skin all-star.
And he being cheesy and corny with the trophy, like he carried the whole team. Like that annoyed me.
I'm perfectly fine with that, and the reason why is because Kobe was his idol. And I think that and Kobe was mentoring him when Kobe passed away. That was Kobe's dude. Like I don't care what anyone says, that was Kobe's dude. He had his people. He looked out for Luka, and he definitely looked out for Jason Tatum because he knew how much he looked up to Jordan so much, and he understood what that relationship was like to have not just someone to look up to, but someone who eventually became a mentor to him. I really actually appreciated the way that Jason Tatum like took that and understood that you might never, ever, ever, ever get a chance to hold this trophy again as a champion. Relish every single second of it. I was perfectly cool with that.
Everything fell in place for the Celtics. Getting Drew Holiday from the
Bucks, yeah.
After he got traded there from Milwaukee, which I still don't understand. I get that Dame is an offensive weapon, incredible offensive player, but Drew does so much. He impacts the game in many different ways. And then getting Kristaps Porzingis, and then Derek White continuing to get better even at 29 years old, and that's why he got paid a big bag today.
Yep.
Good luck beating them next season too.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
That's going to be as long as they keep their. I mean, because look, they just extended everybody. Everyone got 4 and 5 year deals. The whole starting lineup. You know, you just got, as long as you stay healthy. I mean, you'll be good. You'll be golden.
Boston's a problem, even with the moves that Philly made, even with signing Paul George, getting Andre Drummond and Eric Gordon on minimum contracts. Basically, you got to hope that Embiid stays healthy throughout the playoffs. You got to hope Paul George.
Trust the process, bro. Just trust the process.
Okay, for how many years already?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
How many years are going to hear something? But look, I believe it was the Knicks that I said was that they're one Drew Holiday away from that next step, right? That's what it is that Drew Holiday was so, to me, he's so underrated, right? Like he was the Robin that came in that helped the Bulls push through those last 3 championships. He was so like needed for that team to be, get to the top of that mountain. And the funny thing is that he kind of just fell in their lap after Dame decided he was done with Portland. Drew Holiday kind of fell in the Celtics' lap the way, and it just worked out like beautifully for them. All right, so the last thing, and we have to talk about this. We have to talk about LeBron James and his son on the same team. Before I let you,
We're going to waste time on this.
Before I let you really dig deep, because I'm gonna let you drool all over yourself for a while, I will say this. I think it's dope that LeBron James has been in the league long enough to play with his son. Number one, I think it's dope that he played in the league long enough and had the influence over the team that he plays for to be able to help draft his son to that team.
It's fair.
First and foremost, that's what I'll say. as a dad whose kid plays sports, if I was in that position, you best believe I would do that. I saw people talking about like, well, Jordan never did that to his kids, and Marcus was trash. I'm like, Marcus had better stats in college than Bronny, number one, but number two, Jordan would never do that. Jordan's like, if you're not the best, then you're not the best. Get the fuck out of my way. I don't want you on my team if you ain't good. That's my point on that. But I do think it's dope. I like LeBron as a person. It's just it's the Luka laying on the ground crying and, oh my God, the wind knocked me over. That's the bullshit that I hate. Athleticism, all that stuff. And the other thing that we just talked about with over the weekend, I never saw that killer instinct out of LeBron. Those are the two knocks I always had against him. He never saw the killer instinct. Anyway, talk to me about his ability and his longevity to stay in the league long enough to be able to help get his son drafted to the team that he's currently playing for.
Yeah, I think when you're talking about somebody playing for as long as he is and at the level which he's playing at, I don't think you've ever seen anything like this. Not even Tom Brady. You know, Tom Brady's 45. I don't think you compare. As far as like LeBron is basically still jumping out of the gym. Tom Brady's arm wasn't as strong at the end of his career as it was in the beginning of his career. Like LeBron still looks like a freight train running down the court. Yeah. This is just going to turn into a LeBron love fest. No,
we don't have the time for that.
Win a champion. Look, Tom Brady was still winning championships at 44 years old.
LeBron's got 4.
Yeah. When was his last championship? 2016?
Bubble.
Look, we're here to talk about Bronny, right?
Fucking bubble? We really count the bubble. None of them bubble championships count.
There's only one bubble championship. But again, I don't know why you'd want to play with your dad. Like, you're going to be bothered all the time. You're going to be, can't do anything. You're going to be monitored. Daddy's boy. Oh, man, I can't. I don't care, but I just couldn't do it.
I think it's really, really cool. Moment.
It's dope.
That was my first reaction. Like, wow, this is incredible. Being a dad myself, even just playing in like a rec league with my son, it brings me great joy. As far as Bronny's talents go, he was predicted to get drafted into the league for the past couple of years. Like, this wasn't something like he just jumped on draft boards. No, his stock fell because he didn't perform that well in college, but he did have a heart issue, a heart condition. He did not get the full training camp that he was supposed to get. We didn't even know if he was going to play basketball again. So the fact he was able to come back, play basketball for USC, their team was trash. Isaiah Collier, he was a top. He was supposed to be a top 10 pick. He fell out of the top 10. They were supposed to be a lot better than they were. It just wasn't a very good team. But to say that Bronny doesn't deserve to be in the NBA, I don't see it, because I can see the potential. I really like his on-ball defense. I think he's very tenacious when it comes to that. I think you're going to see an improved shooter once he gets to the league, especially with J.J. Redick as his head coach, because I don't think he has a bad shot as it is. But to say he doesn't belong in the league, I think is just ridiculous. And the only reason he got drafted is because of his father.
Nobody said that. You the only one that said
I don't think like I agree that he's be in the league. He earns it.
I thought he was he's not going to get in the first or second round. He would have been a free agent pickup.
Yeah, I think he's gonna have a decent career in this league. Now, here's the other thing I tell people too is, okay, even if LeBron being his father helped him get into the league, Bronny's gonna have to earn his spot and keep his spot.
Yeah,
his dad's not gonna have any sway over anyone when it comes to that. So
isn't his brother a better player anyway? He's set to come into the NBA in what, 2 years?
2 years, yeah.
Yeah, so he'll get drafted by the Lakers too, and then they'll have to cut Bronny.
We'll see. I see a freak athlete.
only two LeBrons.
It's too many LeBrons.
Yeah.
No, LeBron will end up being an assistant coach on that team. That's what probably would happen.
Facts. No, he'd be the GM.
Right. Right. I'm just gonna say this. I work with my dad, and at the same time, I'm just like, I can't do this all the time. I'm being micromanaged. I'm being shown. It's like, let me grow, man. let me grow.
Yeah,
So
I'm a
you know what?
Let me fly.
Yeah, let me earn these peacock wings and let me fly. You know what
What's
I
the
mean?
difference in the hierarchy though? Because LeBron and Bronny are technically just teammates, right? LeBron really that's the difference. If you work with your dad, I'm assuming
He's my coworker. Essentially, he's not my dad. I call him Sal to everyone there. I don't call him by his actual.
Where he's higher than you in the company.
I mean, he's been there longer, so yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not walking around and be like, yeah, you know my daddy. No, I'm not doing that. That's what Bronny's gonna end up doing. But you know,
Papa, can you hear me?
Yeah, Papa, can you see my smile?
All right, guys.
Mike, are you staying out for baseball?
No.
All right, Mike. Let the listeners know where they can find you and listen to your music, man.
If you guys would like to follow me on Instagram, it's MIC Logik. You can use that same name for all the major streaming platforms to find my music. Hit me up, DM me if you have any questions or concerns about my music. I'd be happy to answer any questions you have. And as always, thank you to E-Roc, to Big Z, to Steve. Thank you for having me on your guys' podcast. Appreciate it.
All right, fellas. Let's take a quick break and we'll be right back. Mike, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
Peace.
Peace.
Hey, true Chicago sports fans, show off your Chicago pride with some fresh clothes from Grit Clothing Company. At Grit Clothing, they create that simple yet classic style that represents that Chicago Southside lifestyle. From t-shirts to hoodies, hats to glassware, they've got you covered. Grit has everything you need to represent your Chicago pride. So do it right now. Check out gritclothingco.com and use the promo code TrueFan15.
TrueFan15
for 15% off your entire order. Let me say it again. That's gritclothingco.com and use the promo code TrueFan15 for 15% off of your entire order.
Hey guys, it's Steven.
And this is Sean, and you are listening to True Chicago Sports Fans.
Don't forget to listen to Nowhere on the Weekend. New episodes on Monday. You can find us anywhere you listen to podcasts.
Yeah, so we're going to go do a couple of shots. So let's kick it back over to Big Z.
Welcome back.
All right.
True Chicago Sports Fan.
That was cool.
Big Z. Yeah, having MIC Logik is great. You know, he knows a lot of basketball. He studies the league, studies college basketball. So that's super great to get him on and get his knowledge. And if you don't know about his music, go follow him on his Instagram and listen to his great music. I'm a big fan of his music. I play it all the time in the Jeep. And yeah. You know.
Not once have I heard it. I'm kidding.
You've been in my Jeep like twice.
It's been more than twice, I think.
I don't know.
But you know, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
It's okay. So, gentlemen, let's talk our Chicago baseball teams. We got the Chicago Cubs and Chicago White Sox that are really leaving a bad smell in the city of Chicago, while we're super excited about the new beginnings with the Blackhawks, the Bulls, the Bears, the Chicago Sky. The two baseball teams have been stinking up the city. He looks confused for a second there.
Camera's this way, buddy.
No, it's kind of like the, you know, you got a little brother or sister, and your
I don't actually.
Well, that's a you problem, man. I mean, the parents hated you so much they say I can't take another one.
No more.
No, but look,
yeah, that's exactly what happened. I'm glad you talked to them. They're in Schiller Park. You're in a close enough town, so you know.
I'm close, but no, this is why I got a confused look on my face, is because when you got a younger sibling and you want to go to the park when you're a kid and go play ball, and your parents go, "Could you take your little brother with you?" And what do you say? Do I have to? And that's how I feel about when I think about talking about Chicago baseball, because it is a fucking disaster. It's the fact that we have to talk about it. I mean, I guess, but I mean, shit.
I mean, I'm going to talk about the positives in some point, but I am very angry inside. And every time I walk out of this house, I hate everyone. So yeah, I literally
day for you, sir.
Oh yeah, get out the way when I'm driving from Humboldt to Arlington Heights. Like, just move.
Doesn't stop. If it turns off, it ain't turning back on.
No, it's not. Like the AC that happened here not too long ago. So, but yeah, go ahead.
You know, really, there's really not much to report on the Cubs, and we're going to fly through.
I will say this. Ian Happ has been doing really well hitting the ball, right? He's been great. Nico's been great, right? I see some of the slug, right? He's hitting. But I have an issue with if Christopher Morel is leading the Cubs with 45 RBIs, that's not great. Like, that is terrible. And then Pete Armstrong, we have only 15 stolen bases from him, and no one else. It's just him, pretty much.
Yeah, but I mean, no, it's him and Morel, the only speedsters,
right? And that's fine. And well, it's not fine, but right now that's all we got is fine, right?
That's kind of normal though. In most, you don't. It's not like you either trade speed for power, right? That's pretty normal.
But the thing that I want to see is what I'm not seeing. If you're not hitting it out the park, right? I want to see fundamental. I want to see a little bit more steals. I want to see, hitting it as far as you can to bring in that run or even transfer the guy over from first to second. Like, I want to see something, but you can't do anything when the pitching does not go well and then it blows the games. And that's something that we've been talking about the whole time. Ethan Roberts earned his first K since 2022. He came in. Like, I don't know. I don't know what it is with Craig Counsell. I don't know anything about what this guy's doing. I feel like and Jed Hoyer too, his press conference that he talked about on Sunday was just not answering the questions, mumbling, and just saying, yeah, we're going to figure this out. We had a, same spot that we were last season. But we dug ourselves in a hole and we started off great, but last season we really dug ourselves in a hole and we had to fight back. Now it's like looking to see if we could fight back. And
there's no hunting this dog. I'm gonna tell you right now. And the reason they're not running the bases because they've been thrown out 35 times and counting. They lead the league in getting thrown out, and a lot of it's been at home. 9 of them have been at home. I don't know if it's that inability to run, correctly, or is Willie Harris over there with his windmill at third base sending everybody. I don't know what it is. Either one of them.
Around and around and around, bro. You got to put that thing away. Zip up your pants, stop swinging it, bro. That's a problem.
If you want more like opportunities not to get thrown out, just put me in. I'll definitely get out. So yeah, it's so frustrating. And I had tickets to go on Sunday to Milwaukee. And I'm like, I don't want to die by an elevator, so I am not going to go.
Escalator. Hey, relax, man. One of our friends, Greg Braggs, actually did get hurt on the escalator.
Oh, I didn't know that. Well, then I retract.
Yeah, we're hoping for Greg to, he didn't get seriously hurt, but he did get hurt. So
was it on the second or third floor? I thought it was on the third to the second.
I don't know what floor it was. I just know that escalator collapsed. And me personally, who's seen one happen at Clemente when I was working there, it is not a pretty or scary. I mean, it's a very scary thought and sight because you can't control it.
Fast. Yeah, it was. I was listening to on the ESPN that were talking about it, and essentially it was just sped up like a crazy fast speed, and like there was elderly people, and yeah, it was not good. It was not good.
Not at all. And it's not good, just like, the Chicago Cubs lost to Milwaukee Brewers up there north. And I called it the sausage series because they didn't win that race.
No, they didn't.
They were the bratwurst that got left behind, that rolled under the seat and just didn't make it. So
that was the sausage fest because we all got fucked.
Pretty much.
11.5 games out of first place, 7 games under 500. They're 5 games back on the third wild card spot, but there's
wasn't the last time they played the Brewers, they were only like 3 games back, and that was for first place? Wasn't that like a month ago? What the hell happened?
June happened. That's exactly what happened.
June.
This is the thing I have a problem with, right? We looking at these comments that we got on this show today, right? We got Izzy, man. He's the most optimistic dude I ever seen since C-Red Fred. Right there he goes again. Craig Counsell is correct as far as being patient, bro. It is July. It's about to be the 4th of July. The season is halfway over. The Cubs are not coming back stronger. This is the problem is that, and look, I'm glad. I'm very glad that you're watching the show and you're commenting. We appreciate your feedback. But at the same time, here's the problem. You are a fan that's a problem. And what I mean by that is that every time you hear Craig Counsell in there, he's Patrick Williams, right? well, we should probably play better. We could do better. Dansby Swanson, it's only June. Only June. You could say that in, I don't know, May, April. Don't tell me it's only June when you're on a losing streak. You can't hit the ball. You sit there and you see, oh, look, a ball's coming towards me. Better go the other way. Like, what kind of shit is that's how you play baseball? Try to get the ball.
And I'll defend him on this one.
Nah, because Jed Hoyer's doing the same shit. Jed Hoyer, Dansby Swanson. I mean, nobody has no damn fight. Nobody's pissed off.
I disagree. Justin Steele got pissed.
Okay,
and you saw it. Like
one out of 27 or however many you put on the damn. Look,
but here's the thing. I agree with you.
It's frustrating as hell.
It is. I used to have the Cubs poster right up back behind me, and I took it off. I can't look at it in the morning before I leave. I had to put it down.
I just noticed that. Wow.
Yeah, I had to put it down. I put it in the corner and turned it around for a little bit because I'm that angry. It's like looking in the mirror. I can't look at it. Like, But my point being is the fact is, like, I get it. I am positive. I want to believe that they're going to go on a 7-game win streak. And I hope it happens, but I'm 50-50. And that's okay. I'm that fan, right? I'm a believer. Like, I'm the Trek song. I'm a believer. I'm going to see her if I try, right? It's just like I'm optimistic that they have on paper, they look great hitting wise, but they're not doing it. Dansby Swanson, he's going to be here for a while because he signed 7 years. And that's
that's Jason Hayward 2.0. Jason Hayward 2.0.
But Jason came with clutch moments. I don't see a lot of clutch moments yet with Dansby so far. But again, it's hard to feel for this Cubs team, and it drives me mad when I see them up and then I see the opposing team scores and they're tied and then they lose. Like, it's frustrating. I hate it. Let me tell
you about a little story about the Chicago White Sox.
No one cares. And you want to talk about them, I'm going to talk about a subject of that.
What I'm saying is that's exactly the same thing. The White Sox will be up in the first 3-4 innings. They'll be up, 3-0, and then you're like, oh, the bullpen's coming in. It's T-ball season.
Well, that's how I've been winning money lately. But yes.
Nico Horner led off Sunday's game with a home run.
Right. And he did it also with the San Francisco Giants.
That was the entire scoring of the entire game. They lost 7-1. Think about that. They had 2 hits on the day, and one of them was the first home run, first batter of the game. What kind of bullshit is that?
And I hear you, and I'm not agreeing. Like, it's like saying that you're wrong. I'm just saying, like, I don't know what's going to change, and I think if at the trade deadline you're going to see Belly gone because they're going to try to get something for him. At least if it goes that bad, try to get something out of nothing.
Rumor is Belly to Atlanta on a trade proposal. The Cubs would require J.R. Ritchie, catcher Drake Baldwin, left-hander Dylan Dodd, and outfielder Jesse Franklin V in exchange for Bellinger. That's a lot. And that's probably because Bellinger would opt in at the end of his first year contract.
Right. I'm not opposed to that. I think that's a good deal.
Yeah, because he can play the outfield. They're missing an outfielder right now. And then they have a first baseman
and also the catcher thing I need because Yan Gomes ain't hitting, man. He's not.
He's gone.
Not on a team, bro.
Oh, sorry.
That's why he's not hitting, because he's not on a team.
Yeah. Well, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Yan Gomes, where was he? He was there last season, but he's not here now. Wasn't hitting.
What right now?
Yeah, he got let go a couple weeks ago. Yeah, the issue with the Cubs is, they started hot with an April of 17-10. Then in May, they went 8 games under 500 with 10-18. And then June, 11-16. And so far, they're in the month of July. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. Yeah. I haven't got to July yet, but that's because they haven't.
It just started. Tomorrow, they'll play. They'll play tomorrow.
No, they play tonight against the Phillies and going to lose that shit?
No, tomorrow.
No, it's tomorrow.
Well, there was only 3 MLB games today.
Well,
all right, let's go to the party on the south side for Dodgers White Sox.
Dodgers White Sox. Yeah, I was there on Wednesday. It was a great time.
What party was it? It was like Mexican hinge and Hispanic hinge over there, huh?
It was Mexican Heritage Night, and let me just tell you, there was a lot of Mexicans there.
Yeah, a lot of hinge options, that's for sure.
They did a great market. No, I mean, seriously, Making you, we have the biggest Polish community, and they had about 24,000 the night before, and then you get the Mexican Heritage Night, and it jam packed the house. We had over 36,000. Okay, why are we not catering and doing everything we can to get these two ethnicities to jump in and support this team on a nightly basis and make it filled up like Wrigley Field, where no one cares about the product, but everyone's having a great time and everything.
You know what
They gotta add it. Go ahead.
They need four things. Okay, Tiski,
Yes,
Modelo,
yes.
and pierogi tacos. Bro, make tacos with pierogies inside. That's it, bro. You're good.
I'm
Get
in.
some local team out there, man. Shit.
All I'm saying is my joke is like I'm saying because of the fact that everyone that I saw posting on that night was like, I'm gonna meet myself a boyfriend that night.
Yeah, a toxic girlfriend. Yeah,
Yeah. And I was like laughing because that's funny. Like that.
you should have went then.
I'm not going. You wouldn't catch
toxic.
me there, huh?
You should have went. You could have found somebody. You're toxic.
No. Oh yeah, I am. I totally am. So I mean, you know.
Oh man.
When we started the show, this was filled, and now because the whole time you were talking about the bull segment, I'm like, well, I'm just gonna keep drinking then.
Yeah, no water on the weekend for you.
No water ever. No, just kidding. No. During the weekdays from between 8 to 5, I'm drinking water. Aquafina is a sponsor brought to you by. No, I'm kidding.
I wish.
No, I wish too.
Water.
I know because I'm the worst person. I'm toxic. That's why I said Aquafina.
Missing Water is sponsored by.
Yeah. No. If you want something that tastes like shit, drink Aquafina. No, I just thought it was funny that everyone's making those videos, TikTok, Instagram for that night. Did you get the jersey? I want to know if you got.
I do have the jersey. I got in there early. I snuck in early and was able to get secure jersey. Had a good time.
Did you wear it?
No, because I was wearing my Otani jersey.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
I like that. That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah. I wore my Mets. I have my Mexican Heritage. I don't have it on today. Mexican Heritage White Sox hat. So it's under the brim. It has the sarape, and it has the same colors. And then I wore my Otani jersey because I was sitting 6 rows up from first base side. So I
saw that was awesome. I'm glad you had a good time
because he's going to bat like 6 times against the White Sox. And
did he?
He hit a home run. He hit a bomb. Anyways, the White Sox finally won a series since April against the Rockies, and the last time they won one was in April against the Rays, I believe.
Shocker.
So, yeah. We're 30 games under 500. We suck. There's going to be a fire sale. We had 15 teams calling about Crochet. 15. That's more than half the league.
I want the Cubs to be one of those callers. I'm desperate now.
The Cubs are not doing it.
I'm desperate. I need you Cub fans to put this out in the universe and manifest it that happens.
The Cubs are not. The Dodgers made an offer. The White Sox balked on it. I'm sorry?
I just said no. He said, I need you Cub fans to do that thing that he said. And I said no.
Okay, good.
I said nice Cub fans.
Oh, no. Crochet's making $800,000 this year and is under team control on through 2026. So that's why he is very sought after. Here's the issue. He had surgery last year on his elbow, Tommy John. He's supposed to only pitch 100 innings. He's already surpassed that. So how much are they going to push him on the White Sox? When are you going to shut him down? Are you just going to trade him? I mean, he would give you the biggest haul back. It's just really, do you have the balls to do it? And I think Chris Getz is going to try to establish himself as a GM and being bold and saying, I'm putting my stamp on this team. Even though this is a great player, this is going to elevate us a lot quicker to our rebuild. Like I said, he's already pitched over 100 innings, 28 more than his entire career with the White Sox. I love him. I'd rather keep him and build around him with the rest of the pitchers that we have in the minor leagues that are coming up that have been really good for us. 2 of them have came up this past week, and they've been pitching pretty well. You need pitching to start with, and then we'll work on the hitting afterwards. You can go different ways. I know the Cubs did it backwards where they developed a lot of hitters and fielders and then bought pitching, and that's how they won their championship. There is no perfect formula. So I really, really wish they kept him. Go ahead.
He's 25 years old. Okay. He's only 25 years old. Now, this is what's going to happen is
Tell
that
me.
they will trade him, not this year. If they're smart, you hold on to this guy because you're going to have to essentially do the same thing you did with Chris Sale, where you sit there and trade him because you're nowhere near a contender after what happened last year when everyone thought, oh my God, this is the sweetheart team. This is the team, blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, that didn't work out. Half the team is gone now. Okay. The other players that you got left, I mean, who you got Lou Bob, right? You got Crochet, the two biggest trade pieces you got there, right? And the one other guy, the kickboxer,
Tommy Pham should get traded. Paul DeJong should get traded. Yeah, Paul DeJong will be traded.
Yeah, you got
Eric
little.
Petty.
You got a couple of these pieces, but the two guys that, I mean, Lou Bob, I mean, hitting is easy to trade, or I guess. I mean, so is pitching. But what I'm saying is that the reason why you don't trade Crochet right now is because you're going to need him in a couple of years to trade for, hey, some guy that's just about to hit the majors and you need to fill that slot. I need a third baseman, Moncada. I need a first baseman, what was it, Wallace and Gromit looking month. Like you need someone to put you on that. Yeah, Wallace. Like I said, you need you're gonna need that trade piece that's gonna bring you a couple players that are getting ready to pop in the majors, and that's the smart thing to do because you tried it before. Oh, look, it's Wallace and Gromit.
I was there. I was there when you got that. I was present.
Those big dead eyes. It's so creepy. God damn.
Beady.
Exclamation. Oh,
hey,
my God.
So one thing I want to mention today is Bobby Bonilla Day. So he's getting his 1.19 million until he's like 79 years old. But that's not even Ken Griffey's getting some money too, I think, from the Reds. But you mentioned Ohtani, and I just want to put it out there again. I want to put that out there again. Is that for the next however many years he's only making 20 million. So the deferrals, and I put this note specifically, the deferrals, which total the deferral total $680 million will begin in 2034 and carry on for 9 years until 2043. Starting in 2034, Ohtani will receive $68 million per year from the Dodgers.
But can you imagine what the salary cap is going to be at that point? That is not even going to matter.
Oh my goodness! I mean,
I'm not even going to have enough to buy lunch the next day. That's pretty much.
I'm trying to get some of them pierogi tacos, and I can't afford that shit.
No, you're not even going to be able to go to the ballpark at that point.
Yeah, he better $68 million a year.
A beer is going to cost $25 by then.
It's insane. Hey, they're kicking the can down the road. They're saying we're trying to win now, and whoever buys this team at that point, you got to pay the bill. You're stuck with the bill. They're dining and dashing. That's what they're doing. They're eating all the good food, and poof, I'm out.
You know who else is doing
the
that?
One who's paying the bill.
You know who else is doing that is the owner of the Celtics, because they just gave out all these contracts and just like, guess what? We're selling right now. They're selling shit right now. They're like, you get a contract. You get a contract. I'm getting out of here.
Yep.
Oh man, that's some wild shit right there.
Yeah. Speaking of Robert, looks like the Philadelphia Phillies are kicking the tires on Robert. They would love to have him. You got Bryce Harper, you got Schwarber out there. That'd
be deadly. That'd be deadly.
And then he's protected by some boppers in between, or doesn't, have to be the main guy. And I think that's what he really needs. He can focus on playing great center field. And
that'd be great. I'd like to see that, honestly. I think that would be a great spot for him.
Do him the favor. And trade him over to a contender. I think the Phillies are one of the contenders to the Dodgers when it comes to the
Phillies. You got the Phillies, you got Atlanta, who's always dangerous. Yep. And you got the Dodgers. That's the whole National League right there.
Oh, absolutely. Everyone. And San Diego is there, but you don't know exactly what's going to happen. They have great moments, and then they have other moments where it's like they don't look so great. So
San Diego is
a whale's vagina.
It's a collector.
It's a soreness that Big Z feels for that because he doesn't like them at all. So.
I don't mind San Diego. There's nothing wrong with San Diego.
They were a collector. They collected great players, but they never put it together.
Yeah. They do that every
San
5 years.
Diego.
San Diego.
Whale's vagina.
Whale's vagina. So the proposed trade would bring shortstop Aiden Miller, right-handed pitcher Mick Abel, shortstop Brian Rincon, and right-handed pitcher George Klassen. Again, I've always been about prospects are suspects. I would rather go to proven player, but in the fact that we have to rebuild, and if one of those guys hits, I think it's well worth it.
You gotta be excited about bringing in a guy named Rincon. Hey man, hey, we're gonna hit the baseball, man. Oh man, Ozzy would love that guy. Are you serious?
Oh, they be best friends. They be texting every night. Oh, you going Mimi's?
Yeah. Klassen and Rincon would be the ones that be coming up pretty soon. They're about 2 years away with superstar potential. And then the rest of them would just see what they fill out to. But again, baseball sucks in Chicago, and there's nothing we can do about it. That's why when JC invited us earlier today to go to a Cubs game on the 4th of July, and he said it's $80, I said you can go kick rocks. And
I want to go tomorrow for the Captain America hat because I'm that Marvel nerd.
Then go.
Well, I'd have to take a half day because leaving from Arlington Heights at 5, getting there, I get there right at 7. I got to get there by at least 5. There's no way I'd be able to get that hat, so I'll probably buy it on eBay. So
why don't you just take a full day and still get paid and then go to the Cubs game?
Because they need me, Big Z. They need me there. So,
oh God, let's ask your dad.
Funny you say that. Let's bring up Sal. Welcome to the show, Sal. I'm sorry.
He like right now he'd be 2 drinks in with Smirnoff and 7-Up, so it'd be
perfect.
funny.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah, yeah. So
walk down the street and go hit him up.
Yeah, he'd be like, "Hey, do you want some of this?"
Oh my God!
It sounds like he drank it already. Shit.
I mean, I tapped it, so
that's what I'm saying. Y'all, look, I mean, I seen you drink. I don't think y'all share. That's the problem.
You know what? I don't. Well, I'm not a good share. I'll just mostly take it and be like, oh, whoops, I guess I owe you another one. So
he's an only child. He doesn't know how to share.
He's like, I bought you a beer. Mind if I borrow this beer?
I did steal one from my grandfather, which is his dad, not too long ago. So keep it in the family, you know?
All right. We'll take a short, quick break. Boys, you want to do Stirring the Pot, or you want to do What You're Watching when we come back?
Doesn't matter. We could do Stirring the Pot. I mean, what you're watching, I don't know. I have stuff. I could just name list things, so it doesn't matter.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, we'll come back after a word from our sponsors. Oh, my God, you guys.
Hey, true Chicago sports fans, show off your Chicago pride with some fresh clothes from Grit Clothing Company. At Grit Clothing, they create that simple yet classic style that represents that Chicago Southside lifestyle. From t-shirts to hoodies, hats to glassware, they've got you covered. Grit has everything you need to represent your Chicago pride, so do it right now. Check out gritclothingco.com and use the promo code TrueFan15.
TrueFan15.
For 15% off your entire order. Let me say it again. That's gritclothingco.com and use the promo code TrueFan15 for 15% off of your entire order.
What up? It's Martin Moreno, and you are listening to True Chicago Sports Fans Podcast.
Welcome back, everybody, to the True Chicago Sports Fan Podcast. And if you're a regular of the show, you know what time it is. It's time. Yeah, that's right. It is time for Stirring the Pot. All right. What do you guys got? Because my last one was a dud.
All right, let's see what you're watching.
No.
What was your last one?
Well, I was talking about like summer fruit and like what kind of summer fruit do you like to enjoy it during the summer, and do you put anything into it? And JC was just continuously putting liquor into his fruit.
Yeah, I mean,
I was actually drinking margaritas here for JC tonight. So,
you know, there's tajin, there's like all the Mexican food you get in a cup. You put different variation stuff in there, you know, to make it fun. But you know, he kept putting liquor, he kept putting vodka and stuff like that.
You put too much time into that Mexican night at
yeah, definitely.
That's the problem. That's why you're like, I put tajin, I put this thing over here, man.
Let's go to a Dodgers game.
Yeah, that's right, fool.
Dodgers. Fool.
Let's go.
Serg got stuck working.
No,
Go ahead.
Go ahead, E-Roc.
No. E-Roc, you had the stir in the pot.
Oh well, shit. I mean, you put me on the spot. I mean,
I gave you 90 seconds.
90 seconds. When is 90 seconds ever been enough for me to talk?
I let you walk into that one.
What the fuck is that? 90 seconds never enough for me. I'm old and lazy.
Okay, 10. All right, we don't have to do that. We can do what you watch, and I can tell you.
Let's pivot to what you're watching.
All right.
What are you watching that is in sports?
So, The Boys. I don't know if you've seen it. I don't know if you've been catching up on it this season. I feel like the first couple episodes, they're great, but they're not what we're used to. The fourth episode was amazing, dark, fantastic with Homelander. It is a little different. I do feel something different about that, but I'm still enjoying it. At the same time, I need to catch up on the HBO series with the Game of Thrones spinoff, House of Dragons.
House of Dragons, pretty good so far, man. Pretty good. Just finished watching the episode.
I think I need a notebook because I need to write everyone's names down because I am getting so lost and confused. It's like a family tree. And then I see the breakdowns.
You need to print out a map. Yes, you print out a map of all the family and put the family trees. You definitely need to do that. And I've seen Game of Thrones like maybe like 4 or 5 times the entire series, and I still do not know where every family's at on the map and all that stuff.
No, and I need the closed caption on to understand what the hell they're talking about.
Yes.
Anyway,
Definitely put the closed captioning.
I got a question though. Is this House of Dragons? Is this still in Westeros, or is this some? I haven't been able to watch that.
It is still in Westeros. It's a prequel. It's about 200 years before.
Right. Okay. So I need to catch up on that. And that's been pretty much it. I mean, I'm watching a stupid show, Smiling Friends, which is on HBO, and both of you probably wouldn't be into it. It's it's a dumb cartoon for HBO, but it's well written. But you got to have my kind of sense of funny.
What is it, like South Park funny?
It's a no, not really. It's not even Rick and Morty. It's this company of a cartoon guys that go on service calls to make people smile. And the first episode, this guy that wants to blow his brains out, and he has to teach them why he shouldn't blow his brains out, and tries to go into the world and show him what makes smiling, and it goes wrong until finally like the end of it. So it's funny. I think it's funny, but it is what it is.
Here's 2 things. All right. Number one, I for several years did service calls in people's homes to make them smile.
Yep.
And number 2, I tend to partake in activities where shit like that sounds probably hilarious. So don't you fucking judge me. You son of a bitch.
I was like, that is right up E-Roc's. He probably wrote this shit.
Well, to me, I feel like E-Roc doesn't like cartoons.
Yeah, he does.
What? You've been to my house, bro. I got my God.
Marvel is great.
No, he likes He-Man. He likes all the old school cartoons.
Yeah, but this is new cartoons. It's not like old school.
He's sitting right next to me. He's chilling. You know what I recently found about this, which is super dope. I haven't confirmed.
Why does he have pants on?
Because yes, he does.
Because Eddie doesn't have pants on.
They're not.
That's
pants.
true. We just saw.
They're panties. They're not. They're just pieces of pants. No. So I haven't completely confirmed this with the person, but my understanding is one of the guys that I currently work with was the one that came up with the mechanical design for this mech in here, where when you strike this one's broken, it's really old, but when you would hit, this is the battle armor He-Man. So when you struck his chest, it was roll up and it would show like damaged plastic, and when you hit it again, it would just like the little logo here. So I just found out that one of the guys I work with, one of our higher ups, made this mech. He was the creator of this thing. I gotta, if it's true, this is
gonna
my
have him sign it.
1984. Yeah, I'm gonna sign it right here.
No, have him sign it. Yeah,
right there. That's the biggest part.
Yeah, have him fix it. Have him figure it. Like, bro, it's effective.
Is he the one that says "I have the power," or is that the
"I have the power"? Yeah, that's He-Man.
Okay, see, I knew it. Okay, I'm on there.
Yeah,
I have the battle armor He-Man Funko Pop. I bet
you do.
Oh, I'm sure.
What are you watching, E-Roc?
I'm watching. It's a show that's been on for probably about 2 months now. It comes on Tuesdays. It's called Dinner Time Live with David Chang. It is a live show on Netflix. It comes around. Our local time is about 4 p.m. and out there it's about our local time it's 6 p.m. in LA where it's filmed. It's on at 4. But basically, a celebrity chef, David Chang, who has a couple of different shows on Netflix. He did Ugly Delicious. And so basically he has a kitchen studio. It's like a home kitchen where he has 2 celebrity guests every week. Right before the NBA finals, he had Mark Jackson and Reggie Miller with the trophy behind them. He's had like John Mulaney and Nick Kroll and like just a lot of comedians on there. And he basically just cooks for them. Terry Crews was on a couple of times. He actually David Chang injured his back, and Terry Crews and I forget who else cooked for him.
Oh, wow.
So it was really cool. So you see him literally, a lot of it is just him kind of cooking on the fly. They kind of think about the menu. They ask the guests like, hey, what do you like? What do you don't like? So they had like the all meat episode. They had the vegetarian episode. They had the high end, low end episode where they had like Domino's pizza with caviar on it, like shit like that. So it was really, really, if you ever look at my TikTok, it's always music and cooking. So that's what it is. But 2 shows that I do need to catch up on is number 1, The Boys, and number 2, The Bear. The Bear I have not watched yet.
I finished it.
I finished it as well. Yeah. That's probably the show that I was going to talk about was The Bear and The Boys. Yeah. The Bear, I thought it was above average this season. I didn't think it was great. It's a lot of flashbacks, a lot of backstory. So if they're going to set up the next season, I get it. That's how you reset a season. Tons of cameos. John Cena. Yeah, John Cena. You couldn't see him. You just saw his sneakers. The Boys, I really do enjoy. It's well written. It's just off the books. What's the name of the character that he's running The Boys right now?
What do you mean, the English guy or the Madam Milk?
Madam Milk, yeah. And every episode or just about every other scene, he changes his shirts and he has a different hip hop shirt every single time.
Yeah.
You go from Wu-Tang to DMX. So
that's where they call him Eminem.
Yeah. I love that about him where he does that. I think that's just super cool. And then lastly, I've been watching Who Killed WCW. It's a documentary on YouTube from the guys from Vice and The Dark Side of the Ring. This is produced by Dwayne Johnson and his partner, what is her name? Something Garcia.
Maria?
No. I can't remember her name. So whatever. It's a $7 production anyways. It's been pretty good because it talks about, the toxic nature of WCW and you get firsthand accounts of what happened down there and how that whole thing died. But it's pretty cool. Let's see. Anything else? No, that's about
Not really. I mean, it's been like kind of like low key because it's summer. So
I finished Acapulco the last season. What is it? Season 4 already. And that's for me that show is hilarious. It's super hilarious, and it's family based. Multi-millionaire that comes back and talks to his grandson about his time at the resort and working as a towel boy and moving up. So definitely something to watch on
that's
Apple
something
TV.
you could relate to, working as a towel boy.
Yep.
Yeah, I knew it.
I watched a couple episodes over the weekend of Worst Roommate Ever. You guys ever watch that show?
No.
It's documentary essentially, and it's like true crime, and it's basically like 2 people living together, and one of them tries to kill the other one or whatever it is, but you don't. Yeah. And it's, you know what I mean? Or like people just in general. And most of the time it's about trying to collect a life insurance policy or some shit like that. It's like, we were best friends for 20 years and then he tried to kill me. Like shit like that.
Maybe me and Sean will be on that one.
I'm going to have to buy insurance on Sean.
Yeah.
Maybe. I had brief contact with Sean today for the first time in fucking forever because he posted something about Domino's having a Chicago style tavern pizza, and he's like, yeah, whatever. And I was like, have you tried it? Because I mean, like, I feel like if you're out of town and that's all you can get, I mean, you might give it a whirl. I mean, they have the Detroit style, they have the New York shit slices where they're just floppy bullshit. It's like floppy hat day at Pizza Hut. And I was like, give it a shot. And it was weird because then the post was gone on Facebook. I was like, where?
Oh, well, then you should text him then. Say what happened.
He like deleted it. Like it was really weird. I was like, did they come after you? Like, what's happening here?
The Pizza Hut people went after him.
I mean, there's one not too far from us, so I would assume that's probably what happened.
Yeah.
Is that one still there? Was that on
No,
North Avenue.
Western and North Avenue. That one got torn down, and they put one
on North Avenue. It's next to a Subway and a GameStop before Western.
A GameStop.
No, he doesn't. He's not familiar with that. Though next to the Walgreens.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, okay.
It's in between California and Western. It's in
between building, and it's a Walgreens, and that's right next there.
Okay.
Yeah, he doesn't come down to like
he
as much as he used to.
No, I get you.
No, I'm driving out.
That Wingstop and Jimmy John's, that's by First Avenue and Irving Park by you. So that's the one that you know.
Hey, you know what? I got a question for you. Do you eat Wingstop?
No, not really.
You know,
I like Buffalo Wild Wings more than that.
But I'm just saying, like, so I gave him a shot a couple times. I would get the boneless wings. It's real greasy. Then my daughter, she's like, I really want Wingstop. It was after a practice. I'm like, as long as you're eating. So I took her over there, and I was like, you also have to order like 45 minutes in advance, right? So because they take forever to give you terrible fucking food. Their fries are super salty. And then I got the real wings, and I was like, this is a rip. I'm never eating there again. It was such a rip off. It was like $17 for like 10 wings and like a bunch of salty fries.
The meal combo is like almost $20. So
I said, I can't do this. But guess what? Over here by me, they opened up a Pollo Campero, man. I can't wait. I'm excited, bro.
I know.
And what in North Avenue, right? In Melrose Park?
Yep. You got that one.
I pass that one up all the time.
They have and it just opened like a month ago, but they got so many chicken places because you got that, you got Chick-fil-A, you got Cane's right down the street, KFC's down the street there, and Brown's Chicken is over here too. There's just when we need another chicken place. You know what I said? Man, shut the fuck up, man. You can never have enough chicken.
No, you can't. That's correct.
I'll go, man. Now I want some Jewel fried chicken.
Now, Jewel chicken is the best.
No, I don't know.
Today on Monday, you go there on Monday, get a fresh batch,
$6.
Yeah, get the meal for 14.
Yep.
Get the meal for 14. You get two giant sides, the bread and a pop. Come on,
yep.
Can't beat that.
Nope.
All right, boys. We are at our time, and it's time to go. I want to thank MIC Logik for jumping on today for the NBA talk. It was amazing. Love to hear from MIC Logik. Please go listen to MIC Logik's music. MIC.
Do it. MIC Logik.
The way it sounds is the way it's spelled.
No. After me. I don't be his gimmick infringement and stuff like that. I don't want to be sued.
Oh, that ain't a gimmick. That's just letting y'all know. Y'all know the name MICLOGIK.bandcamp.com. Go check them out.
Yeah, check them out everywhere. E-Roc, thanks for joining us. It's always a good time when you jump on when you can. I know you're doing your thing, being a great dad for your daughter. I know softball has been consuming your life for the past year and a half or something like that. It's been, I don't even know.
A lot. Hey, but here's the thing: a lot of hard work, a lot of winning. She's been doing good. The team's been doing good.
Great memories.
Well, I tell you what, though, I will knock them on this, man. They won the Mother's Day tournament a few weeks ago. Father's Day tournament, they were up 8-2, and they end up losing. And I said, look, I guess y'all just love your moms more than your dads. I guess that's how.
Your mom's gonna have to drive you to the next tournament. How about that?
New season's coming up. They just had tryouts last Wednesday, so just running it back, and so I'll come on when I can, and probably next time you see me it'll be with a Bears hat on, because that might be the next time I'm free.
Yeah. There we go. All right, Stevie-B, tell them about No Water on the Weekend.
Yeah, a new episode is out today. You can go check it out anywhere you listen to podcasts. This one is funny, always funny. Trivia topic is famous cartoon cats. Name the top 10 famous cartoon cats out there. That's what Sean is tested on, and it's 50-50 pretty much. You guys go listen to it, judge him on that.
The cat, yeah, that's the cat from Heathcliff.
Yeah, it is.
Was not on there.
There was a bunch of cats in Heathcliff, wasn't there?
Yeah. Heathcliff, Garfield.
Oh yeah, you got that, Felix. Yeah, that's another one.
Felix, yep.
But yeah, so go check that out. See how Sean does, and other fun things. We talk about the Acolyte series and how much I do not like it. But go ahead and check that out.
Not gonna watch that Acolyte series, but okay. No, definitely gonna listen to that tomorrow on the way to work. Also dropped a new episode of Imposicated this week. We have Charlie Wilson Jr. He is a comedian. He was on one of Mikey O's show that I was able to see. Funny dude. We talk about his transition from LA to Chicago and been moving around, and he's been all over the world for the past 3 weeks. So you can find Charlie Wilson TV on Instagram, and you find the show on YouTube. So go ahead and give it a listen, give it a watch, and subscribe and share. So thank you everybody for listening. Thank you to my co-host today. It was a lot of fun. Episode 201, which is under construction, just like the Kennedy. That's our baseball teams.
Yeah, there you go.
294 too, man. Shit.
Yeah.
Friday, an hour and 30 minutes to get home. But yeah.
Yeah, doing 80 on the 94. Shout out to MIC Logik for that one.
Yeah.
See, thank you to our sponsors, 606 Media, True Chicago Sports Fans, and Great Clothing Company. Go over there and check out our gear. You know, it's pretty cool. It gives a little in our pocket. We can pay for stuff. Yeah, do us a little favor. Check us out on social media. We're on Twitter, we're on Facebook, we're on EG, Spotify, TikTok. We're on all that, so you can find us. You want to email us starting a pod or a show, True Chicago Sports Fans at gmail.com. And for E-Roc and Stevie-B, I am Big Z, and I'll see you next time for episode 202. And until then, be good to each other for the love of sports.
Swish.